The only show in America that has its in-house psychotherapist, Jill Payne, joins us on Wednesdays via Skype because America needs a good session. How you doing, Jill?
I'm telling you.
Gosh. Hey, real quick, before we get to the political stuff, in the last break, I don't know if y'all just joined us, we're talking about Lady Gaga, halftime show, and she was criticized for not being political, which is, she was doing her job. She's supposed to sing. And then she was criticized for she had this little tiny belly sticking out of her little bikini bottom. I guess it was a little too tight.
I wish I had that little belly.
So, what am I going to, what do I say? I can't, so I'll just keep moving. So, she was getting, quote, fat shamed. She's a nice-looking young lady, great figure, talented dancer. I just got to say, it's got to be tough on women because y'all, I mean, even a girl, she's probably 100 pounds, 105 pounds, soaking wet.
Maybe.
Gets shamed for her figure like that.
Right. And this has been an issue for a long, many years. And it's the media that puts peer pressure on us women to be, quote, perfect, which is impossible. And so it causes some disorders like anorexia, bulimia, body dysmorphic disorder. And body dysmorphic disorder is where now she's probably going to focus on her one region of her little belly.
Yeah.
So
That's a shame. That's tough. And I told my son, I'm like, the women you see like on social media with all the apps there are to Photoshop. There's so many, whether they're on your phone or you download them for free. Hell, we use Photoshop. I mean, we're left and right. My pictures have been Photoshopped, but I don't really care about it.
Oh, Sam!
If you've seen my billboards, they're Photoshopped. I didn't do it, but another company did. It's tough on people. I said, son, what you're seeing online in these pictures and social media are probably not real. That they're trimming a little here, a little trimming a little there.
What do you think of the hypocrisy with the Women's March? And here we want to be looked at as equal, and yet the media is looking at her as a sex symbol. You would not say a man has a pot belly. You're not going to even go to Trump. No one's ever said Trump has a pot belly. They've mentioned his hands, but they have not mentioned he has a pot belly.
It's a shame. It's a shame about the double standard. It's a shame.
It's a double standard.
Here's the deal. You're our in-house psychotherapist, Jill Payne.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Boy, this anger is not simmering down. It's only ratcheting up from elected officials in Washington, D.C., senators and Democrats. When does it stop? I mean, what has to happen as a psychotherapist? What has to happen for these people to bring it down? Stop with the hatred, the anger, and calling for the killing of President Trump.
Okay, well, two things. One, I want to say if you have a couple and they're being physically abusive, it's only going to get worse until they get help. So if they keep going in the same direction that they're going, it's only going to their physical violence will only get more. The same with in our society. And one of my suggestions is that you need a mediator. And when you have a divorce, even if you have a divorce, it's really great to have a mediator. What's the purpose of a mediator?
They sit there and say, okay, Bob, let's see what Shirley says. Oh, good suggestion, Shirley. No, you're not getting the beach house because he cheated with you and your best friend. Bob, let's go back to you. That's what they do, right?
Right, exactly. And so because when you have two extremes, and I was talking to you off the show, that it's not so much the Democrats against the conservatives, it's more the conservatives against socialism. And when I say that, there's something called collectivism, which I was talking to you, where the mindset is totally different. And a lot of this, I believe, is happening, and not for a bad reason. It's because we have all these different types of people coming in from different social backgrounds, and they're bringing their political views. They're bringing their mindsets of the way they are. For instance, in Japan, it is more collectivism.
Right.
There's only a few countries, UK, our country, and Canada, that are for individualism. And so there's a saying in Japan, and I think I told it to you, that the nail that sticks out shall be hammered down. In other words, you need to be in the group, otherwise you are hammered down. So Trump is not in the group, so they're trying to hammer him down. It's not going to happen. In our society, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil.
Right.
And so what the reason I'm saying we need a mediator, there's someone that was Milton Friedman. Do you remember Milton Friedman?
Mm-hmm.
He was an economist, and basically he went to place and he'll did there's
left, and it's just really the smashing liars on women, calling for his execution. How does that ever get
Notice
turned
that
down?
the Republicans don't do it.
No. Listen, when Obama won, there wasn't one looting. Okay,
Right.
There was nothing. It wasn't like
Right.
Baltimore or Ferguson or Portland after the election. But how do you real quick? I got a minute. How do you turn that anger down? Because it only seems to be getting worse on the left.
So the same what I said, there needs to be a mediator that can explain to these people in their language, because when you have fear, you're not understanding. And so if I'm talking to you, Sam, and you're not getting me, I need to say it a different way. So that's what needs to be done, because Trump, it works for Trump right now. It's not working, and he needs to have his support group or have someone that can really relate with, quote, these people, and that's what needs to happen. Because if you don't feel like you're listened to, Sam, if your wife, if Princess is talking to you and she does not feel like she's being heard from you, and she is talking your ear off, is she going to get happy or sad?
Usually topless, be honest with you. But the point is, no.
Okay, there you go. So, but that's not going to happen. Yes, you can use humor. Sam, that's a good point.
Well, here's they tell me to wrap it up. I wish that those dirty people who loot and smash and start fires and ban homosexual Jews from speaking on college campuses.
Right.
I wish they would listen to you. I don't think they are, but I wish they'd listen to you.
And then one other thing.
Real quick, yes.
They need to be reprimanded immediately.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Because if you are not, just like a child, if you're not reprimanded immediately and you let it go, then people will continue to do it.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Good to have you on, our in-house psychotherapist. Lovely as always via Skype. Jill,
I hope I helped.
I hope, from the American Psychotherapy Association and other groups.
Yeah.
Jill, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Okay, you too.